Hello and welcome back to Jules My Tools. We are now solving two-step equations when we're using subtraction and division. And if you want to see how this is done, let's get started. So the first thing you need to know when you're solving two-step equations, this simply means that we're using two of our one-step equations to solve this type of equation. So in solving our two-step equation, we have an addition rule being used here as well as multiplication. And remember that when we're solving one-step equation, we always use the opposite rule in order to solve this equation. So let's begin by collecting our like terms. And remember that in collecting your like terms, you're looking to see which two terms or which two or more terms in your equation are the same. So in this equation, we have 3p, which is with 3 is with a variable. So we have a term with a variable. And then we have two constants or two numbers involved in our equation. And as you know, the constants or the numbers are considered like terms. So we will be grouping those terms together. Since we have our 7 being added on the left-hand side of our equation, that means that when I group this number with the term on the right-hand side, which is 19, I'm going to be subtracting 7 from 19. So we always use the opposite rule, and this is our subtraction rule being used here from our one-step equation. And now we are going to simplify our right-hand side of the equation. So on the left-hand side, I'll return my 3p back to the equation. And now I'm going to subtract 7 from 19, which is equal to 12. So that was our first step of our one-step equation where we use subtraction. And now in this step, we have 3 being multiplied to p. That's what our 3p means. And since we're using multiplication, we're going to be using the opposite operation, which is division, to solve this part of our equation. And remember that when we are dividing, we always divide by the number that's being multiplied to our variable, which is called our coefficient. So my 3 will be dividing into 3 and also into 12. Remember that whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do the same thing to the other side. So now let's simplify. So we're going to be dividing 3 into 3, which will leave us with just p. And remember that p is the same thing as 1p, so you don't need to write the 1. The p will be just fine. And now we are going to be dividing 3 into 12 as well as into 3. So 3 divides into 3 will give you 1. 3 divides into 12 will equal to 4. So that means for this equation, my p is equal to 4. And here's the best part about solving two-step equation, or any equation for that matter, is that you can always check your solution to see if the answer is correct. So to check my answer, I'm now going to go back to my rules for substitution, where I will be replacing my p with the number 4 and solving to see if this equation will equal to 19. So we have 3 times 4, which is equal to 12, and 12 plus 7 is equal to 19. And since 19 and 19 are equal, that means that p equals 4 is the correct solution for our equation. Okay, so I hope this was very helpful to you. This is solving our two-step equation when we're using the subtraction and division rules. So remember, to become better at solving two-step equation, you must practice mastering your one-step equation rules first. And when you're ready to learn how to use more steps or more one-step equation to solve your two-step equation, make sure that you return back to Jules Math Tools, where we make math easy.